Fifi the same way. The lady.
Flutterwave, partner of this broadcast of the Total Energies Africa Cup of Nations Cameroon 2021.
Bana Uganda mwena mwebale kusima bachogela hub products olw'okufufugaza endwadde z'ensusu zonna tonyiriza bato n'abakulu era basimye empeereza yaffe tuleese ebipya ku katale omuli kyogero vitamin jelly pink ono ng'anyiriza ate era ng'ajjanjaba grams 25 okutuuka ku grams 5 kyogero cocoa butter jelly kyogero aloe vera jelly ne kyogero non perfumed jelly eri abo ababoola obuwoowo essabbuuni mu bika eby'enjawulo omuli kyogero herbal soap cocoa butter soap aloe vera soap ne vitamin soap bisange mu kikobo supermarkets amaduuka wamu ne ku motoka zaffe ezibitambuza tukubire ku noti 7545 oba noti 392 kyogero products clean your skin open your luck.
Every waking day is a reminder just how beautiful this, our land, truly is. The kind of beauty that you can only find here. In the lush green all around us and the wondrous sights within. It's in the distinct aroma of our cooking to the taste of food that takes you on a journey. In the sound of homecoming and the sound of Mother Earth. In the magnificence we find on our travels and the exciting moments we experience. Ours is the kind of beauty that comes in all things big and small. All we have to do is awaken our senses and truly enjoy what's uniquely ours. Explore Uganda, the pearl of Africa.
Olina smartphone app ya UTV giteekeko osobola okulaba channel za TV zonna ne radio zifirimu ezebika byonna obuzannyo n'ebirala okugidownloadinga kola bwoti genda ku Google Play Store teeka mu UTV downloadinga bwebemaze okudownloadinga giteekeko olugalo otandika ogiwandiisa teekamu ennamba ye MTN oba Airtel bagenda kusindikira pin code giteekemu egale kuddamu okusaba ennamba yo ne pin code eyo gy'ofunye biteekemu otandika okwejovaana komite nti weetaaga data ate nga bakuwa omwezi mulamba ng'okozesa UTV ku bwereere.
For an event as big as the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations, you can't afford to miss out. So where do you go when you want to have a full AFCON 2021 experience? You go where everybody goes. When you're looking for the vibe, you go straight to the source. So if you want to have it all, go all out for the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations with GoTV. Catch all 52 must-watch games live on SuperSport on GoTV. GoTV, love it.
The quarterfinals, semi-finals, third place playoff, and the finale are on! It's the Africa Cup of Nations 2021, live on UBC TV. Brace yourselves with more action, more upsets, more drama. Surprise yourself too! Dial star 210 star 6 hash. Predict continuously and win with UBC and your TV channels. Walk away with a brand new Boda Boda, swag hampers, smartphones, cash, and much more. The more you predict, the more the chances of winning. Dial star 210 star 6 hash to win your prize. Terms and conditions apply. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Celebrating African ways, Africa loving African people, African youth, African kings and African queens.
Africa, born Africa, too.
Airtel Money to pay for all your Yaka bills conveniently. Open the My Airtel app to buy Yaka units. Airtel Money. Simple, secure, borderless.
Brought to you by.
We're here to build because at the end of the day, we're truly Ugandan.
Welcome to UBC News Tonight on this 30th day of January 2022. Welcome back from that amazing game from course Egypt against Morocco. Wow, what a game. And before we get into tonight's bulletin, let's first take a look at tonight's headlines.
Brought to you by
How to get points. Just use MTN to make calls, send SMS, load airtime, buy bundles, or pay for MTN subscription services.
Everywhere you go, MTN. Was brought to you by Everywhere You Go, MTN.
*80#. Enter the student code provided by the school. It will show you the student name and the class plus outstanding balance. Enter the amount you want to pay. Enter PIN. You will get a notification confirming payment. It's simple, secure, and convenient.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
The thing goes clink, clink, clink.
Grab an ice-cold bottle of Pepsi Max today and drink to your bold lifestyle. Enjoy maximum taste
with no sugar.
Now available at a shop near you.
Maximum taste, no sugar.
Well, we apologize for that technical glitch. Good evening once again and welcome to UBC News Tonight on this 30th day of January 2022. I'm Lauryn Masika Kazimoto and Muhammad Mugalu on sign language interpretation. Now we start off with our first headlining story. The State Minister for Karamoja Affairs, Agnes Nandutu, has said Bududa district residents to prioritize commercial agriculture so that they can improve their household incomes. Nandutu said the Bugisu residents are not fully utilizing the endowment of their land and instead are concentrating on subsistence farming. Now she was speaking during the launch of the UPDF week-long activities to mark Tarehesita at Bushika Primary School playgrounds. We have the details.
State Minister for Karamoja Affairs, Agnes Nandutu, has challenged the people of Bugisu region to take advantage of the fertility of their land to enhance agricultural productivity, especially on commercial basis, during the launch of Tarehesita activities at Bushika Primary School in Bududa district. Minister Nandutu urged the Bamasabas to use their endowment of fertile soils and focus on commercial agriculture in order to improve their household incomes.
Focus on agriculture to ensure that we not only work for stomach but also work for the pocket. Because in most cases we plant the bananas, we plant the onions, but we have not thought of working hard to ensure that we eat, but also we have supplies for sale.
Nandutu commended government for its efforts to maintain peace in the country and to choose Elgon area to host this year's celebrations.
The theme of this year's celebration is retracing the people's struggle for peace and security. And indeed, this theme is the reason the celebrations have been held here in Elgon, because the UPDF has decided to trace the people's struggle. The people who helped the NRA to fight to achieve the peace that we are witnessing today.
Other legislators from the region called upon government to intervene in the improvement of service delivery, especially in the education and tourism sectors.
We got a massive enrollment of pupils in schools, but it lacked the commensurate or rather the corresponding expansion of facilities where these children would study from. Most of the children in Bududa study under trees.
And I believe that this is a tourism attraction area, which I think can scoop a lot from tourism investment.
Uganda People's Defence Forces team leader Colonel Sad Katemba disclosed that they will renovate and construct classrooms at various schools as part of their Tarehe Sita celebrations. Colonel Katemba, however, warned some people against grabbing properties of the fallen soldiers and leaving their families in misery.
These things of grabbing properties of the deceased from the children are rampant. But now, we have established a law department within our legal services that supports or helps deceased veterans, family members.
Uganda People's Defence Forces will celebrate the 41st anniversary of Tarehe Sita at Maluku Grounds in Mbale City under the theme Retracing the People's Struggle for Peace and Security. Story compiled by Muhammad Yiga for UBC News.
The Minister for Information, Communication, Technology and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Baryomunsi, has challenged members of the Kabale University NRM chapter to be patriotic and resilient at all times. The Minister was officiating at the swearing-in of new leadership for the chapter, accompanied by the State Minister for Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, who is also the chairman of NRM Kabale District. The new leadership, headed by Samuel Akampulida, outcried a number of challenges, including, among others, inadequate funding and lack of support from the party.
Kabale University National Resistance Movement chapter has sworn in their new leadership, headed by Samuel Akampulida.
We will continue at all times to promote the progress of NRM in and out of Kabale University, so help me God.
The Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Baryomunsi, who was the chief guest, encouraged the new leadership to stay focused. He pledged government support and challenged them to remain patriotic and resilient towards the party at all times.
And I want to assure you that we are going to be part of you and see that we bring energy to NRM in Kabale University and the other institutions.
The State Minister for Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, who is also the chairman NRM for Kabale District, David Bahati, welcomed the idea of the university chapter and urged them to work hard towards the development of NRM.
As we serve this party, there are things that we need to keep reminding you. One of them that I want to emphasize is what is written on that booklet that we are having. The 4 core principles of the NRM.
The outgoing chairman of the chapter, Samuel Tayewa, appealed for material and financial support from the party.
So nowadays, they are too much in opposition, and convincing them to be part of the party, you find it is a big challenge. On the Kabale NRM chapter, but the government should help and fund some activities.
Story compiled by Jane Nyiramjisha for UBC News.
The Vice President of Uganda, Major Jessica Alupo, has commended President Yoweri Museveni and his Rwandan counterpart, Paul Kagame, for agreeing to reopen Katuna border post 3 years after it was closed. Alupo was attending the Kabale Diocese Bishop's annual appeal fund at Rushoroza Cathedral in Kabale municipality, where she represented President Yoweri Museveni.
The Bishop's Annual Appeal Fund is an event held by Kabale Catholic Diocese to bolster the area's development efforts. 21 birth and Thanksgiving ceremony has been held this Saturday at Rushoroza Cathedral in Kabale Municipality at an event presided over by the area's ordinary, Right Reverend Kalista Babaramira. Ministers Dr. Chris Baryomusi, David Bahati and Henry Musasizi graced the occasion.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Last month when you were here, you promised us. You said, I have not attended Mass, but next time I will come and attend Mass. Today she has attended Mass. We want to thank you. Hamwe n'ebitenge biwatuleteire, the gift you came with, and also for accepting to represent His Excellency the President here today.
Abantu mwena muhagire bamemba ba parliamenti emyaka 5 egi tubase kubashakira omu gavumenti no bitongole tubase kutera entambo nk'abantu ba kigezi.
In attendance here is the Vice President of Uganda, retired Major Jessica Alupo, who is representing the President of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, as the chief guest.
This occasion presents to all of us a challenge and a call for us to carry each other's burden in service by giving part of our proceeds to God. Gone are the days when the church was fully dependent on the believers for the survival of its activities and its leaders and the welfare of the church activities. I am optimistic that the project of our focus today will reduce the dependency of the church on the faithful.
The president hailed the Kabale religious community and the entire country for the championing of development.
I appreciate the leadership of Kabale Diocese for responding to the call of government towards prosperity. The NRM has relentlessly been encouraging churches to start up projects that sustain its leaders and activities to cause growth of the church for it to thrive amidst challenging times like this.
On her part, the Vice President challenged Ugandans, especially in the region, to desist from propaganda now that the Katuna border is set for reopening next week.
All the leaders here, I would like to implore upon you, when you are speaking to the people who you lead, tell them to avoid provocative statements. Let the people now engage in what they were engaging on, especially productive activities in terms of trade, which they were doing before when the border was open. Let's talk about now the future and leave other things of the past to the past.
Alupo says that the closure of the border has greatly hampered the business sector.
We may have been personally affected in one way or the other because of the closure of the border. I can tell you, Lord Bishop, that in Katakwi, in Teso, people used to sell granuts, which was going to Rwanda. And the message which I'm going to tell them now is that prepare, cultivate that granuts which you know. They are red granuts. They know the type. That please prepare the granuts. The border has now opened. Let's take it in that direction, and we shall move very far.
The funds raised in the 2021 BAF is to finance the construction of the Mount Billion Centenary Bank branch in Rukungiri Municipality.
Let me thank His Excellency General Paul Kagame, the President of the Republic of Rwanda, and General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of the Republic of Uganda, who were the initiators of that process. I know that they value peace much as we all value peace.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni contributed 150 million shillings towards the project, which is part of the 100 million donated earlier. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
The Inspectorate of Government has asked police personnel, especially the probation constables, to be at the forefront in the fight against corruption. The Inspector General, Betty Olive Kamya, was giving a lecture to over 450 police officers on crime investigation course at Police Training School in Masindi District.
The Inspector General of Government, Betty Olive Kamya, has asked police officers not to be compromised and always exhibit high level of integrity while handling corruption-related matters. As lead crime detectors and preventers, the Inspectorate urges the police to use their expertise in the fight against corruption.
It's a clarion call to all Ugandans, to all police personnel, senior officers, and especially the probation police constables listening to me now, to join the war against corruption, to save the 10 trillion shillings that we use every month.
Kamya says Inspectorate will soon embark on a massive sensitization to enlighten the population on various issues linking the Inspectorate and the public.
We have a directorate in charge of education, research and advocacy. And we are going to go out very, very aggressively to work on the youth so that they know that corruption hurts us all as a country, especially them who are the future owners of this country.
The course attendants pledged to support the campaign against corruption.
I would like to assure you that the knowledge and skills acquired during the interaction with you will be used by the trainees in the improving of the professionalism in executing our mandate as police officers. And on the same note, on behalf of the Commandant, the entire staff, and the trainees, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for honoring the opportunity given to you to come and give us and deliver this wonderful topic to us.
Wakiso District Councillors under National Unity Platform ticket have rejected a leadership training offer organized by the Office of the President. The councillors, led by District Speaker Naja Nassif, claims that the training might compromise their principles. It should be noted that National Unity Platform is an opposition party that won a majority of the councillor positions in Wakiso District.
Though campaigns are long gone, some politicians behave as if it is still election time. Dressed in their party colors, councillors from Wakiso district addressed the media at their Kamocha-based party headquarters in Kampala, announcing that they will not participate in the 2 weeks induction by the Office of the President.
On the 14th this month, we received an invitation later for an induction meeting of honorable councillors of Wakiso district. And in this letter, the organization was arranged from the Office of the Presidency. As a matter of principle and protocol, all activities that happen or that take place under local councils are supposed to be organized by the local government ministry. As the National Unity Platform, we, however, had a reason to understand that this was a take by the National Resistance Movement and the Office of the Presidency, that is Mr. Museveni, to try and lure our councillors onto a bait.
We do not hesitate to work with government, but in a transparent way. The local governments operate directly under the Ministry of Local Government. So any preparations which are brought to to the district through the Ministry of Local Government shall not be pushed away. But any preparation which is brought from the government without involving the Ministry of Local Government, it means there may be something behind.
The training started this Sunday at Garuga Hotel on Entebbe Road.
Our major fear is one. We are the National Unity Platform, and we are members of the National Unity Platform. We were called by the Office of the President. Our fear is fear for being compromised. That's our fear. So, in order for us to be safe, that we're not going to be compromised, we needed to know what is going to take place there.
Wakiso local government has 102 councillors and about 70 of them are on a NUP ticket.
With my fellow leaders, we found it necessary not to attend that training because we are not part of the organizing team. And secondly, we don't know what's going to transpire in that training because it's organized by the Office of the President and we are members of the National Unity Platform. We are members of the opposition side.
Other councillors of NRM, DP and independents are expected to attend the retreat aimed at harmonizing operations of the councillors. Philip Aguta, UBC News in Kampala.
Stakeholders in the management of HIV/AIDS have appealed for an increase in funds allocated to the treatment of non-communicable diseases like cancer, diabetes, pressure, among others that affect the elderly. This was during the official launching of the first ever action group for health, human rights and HIV/AIDS Uganda at Kagoma Nabweru in Wakiso district.
The medical practitioners have asked for more financial support for management of non-communicable diseases that often disturb the elderly. The Executive Director, Action Group for Health, Human Rights and HIV, Flavia Chomokama, says efforts are on to eradicate domestic violence, HIV/AIDS and maternal challenges that are still rampant in the country. This was during the official launch of the first ever Action Group for Health, Human Rights and AIDS in Kagoma Maganjo in Nabweru sub-county in Wakiso district.
We are being thrown out of homes because they were unable to do the social obligations as expected because, you know, when you age, the libido sometimes falls, the vagina shrinks, the reputation is reduced. Nobody's talking about this. Just some of them are being thrown out because the husbands feel they are not serving their purpose, or sometimes they are going with younger girls and they have even exposed them to other infections like HIV. The thing was to alert the community that there are issues that happen in the household that are not necessarily in the open, because sexuality among the older person is seen as it's a mystery. People don't think that older people have sex or engage.
The mayor of Nabweru sub-county, Kasim Jumba, says they have embarked on rehabilitating all roads in the area, beginning with the tarmacking of the 5-kilometer Jinja Kalori Wamala Road to be completed in a period of 3 years.
Oluguudo lwa Jinja Kalori olugendera ddala paka ku Kyewamala lwatandikiddwa era twaluguddewo emabega kaawo katono. Luno lugenda kukolebwa, lugenda kuba lwa Mwasanjala, naye buli mwaka twasubiddwa nga tuli wamu n'aba municipality tujja kukolangayo kilomita emu n'ekitundu buli mwaka paka tunatuusa eri ku Kyewamala. The
officer in charge, Maganjo Police Post Charles Were, cautioned the public against moving alone in the night to avoid the Kasolo Group Iron Bar hitmen.
Time the East Boys, the time when there is traffic jam and the areas targeted, we deploy there. Our patrols move there, and we have tried to do this. Some of them have run away. The struggle is still continuing. This is not the end, but we have at least reduced that crime rate.
Story compiled by Fred Kasivante.
School administrators in Shema and Mitoma district have lauded President Yoweri Museveni and all concerned parties that support return to school of pregnant children. This situation resulted from the long COVID-19 lockdown, after which many girls returned pregnant. We have details.
The reopening of the education sector was met with many challenges, especially the pregnant girl child. But credit to guidance by President Yoweri Museveni and Minister of Education and Sports, that category of learners resumed and has been integrated amongst others with no fuss.
The president has helped us as teachers who are concerned about the girls. He has helped us to strengthen our potential, our coming up as women in the nation. It is one of the ways in which he is showing us concern that he loves the girl child and he would want to see this girl child really come up to be a strong woman in the future.
When these girls come who were pregnant, when they come, the teachers will identify them and we give them protection. And we guide these other students, not us, these ones who were impregnated. It's a matter of guiding and counseling these other students, these other runners, and they will listen to us.
At Ryakasinga Center for Higher Education in Shema District, appreciation by all towards girl child education is noticeable, but urge Ministry of Health to increase support to schools to eliminate COVID-19 100%.
Since we started the term, we have not had challenges with COVID. We take temperatures for our students and staff every morning, and we have not had any of them with temperatures beyond the normal ones, except that we have a few cases of mild flu and cough, but we have not had a student who has failed to attend lessons because of cough or flu. So we hope at that pace and rate we are managing.
The current term at school ends in April for most learners, with a short holiday to allow them make up lost time.
A bilateral fisheries and aquaculture agreement has been signed between Uganda and the Democratic Republic of Congo. The pact has been signed by the Council of Ministers at a meeting held at Imperial Royal Hotel, Kampala. The agreement is aimed at finding a lasting solution to the recurring fisheries problems on the Lake Edward and Albert Basin.
The first meeting of the Council of Ministers between Uganda and Democratic Republic of Congo has agreed to establish the Lake Edward and Albert Fisheries Organization with its headquarters in Entebbe.
So it's our responsibility to make sure that we talk to our fishermen to stop illegal fishing in order to get value for our resource, our fish.
The two countries agreed that relations between Uganda and Democratic Republic of Congo will continue to be handled in a holistic manner through the Joint Permanent Commission, which is the framework that provides engagements.
That the framework which led us through the discussion contained both the principles and the action plan. And the action plan has already set the ball rolling. The milestones cannot be overestimated, neither can we fail to underscore them. Number one is that the chair of the Council of Ministers has already happened, and Uganda has taken the chair, which is hosted at Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industries and Fisheries.
The organization shall be operational in 3 months after the signing of the joint report by the first Council of Ministers.
Pratique de l'accord bilatéral sur la gestion des ressources halieutiques dans les lacs Albert et Edouard.
Together as is going to bring a very wonderful relationship. I will be in Uganda knowing I have an elder brother in Congo who wishes me well, who wants the best for me. And I can go to Congo anytime I want, knowing that my elder brother will receive me, and he will come here anytime and say my young sister will receive me. So
the delegation from the Democratic Republic of Congo was led by Adrian Bokele Jema, the Minister of Fisheries and Livestock, while John Molimba, the State Minister for Regional Affairs, represented Uganda. Haruna Mtesasira, UBC News.
Thank you, Haruna, for that report. The Chabazinga government has distributed mama kits and food supplements to teenage mothers in the districts of Buyende and Kamuli. The two districts registered the highest cases of early pregnancy in the region following closure of schools due to COVID-19. We have the details.
The 2-year lockdown as a preventive measure against COVID-19 pandemic affected young girls who were sent home, and some ended up being impregnated. According to the 2021 UNFPA report, Kamuli district registered 6,535 cases of teenage pregnancy, followed by Mayuge with 6,205. Others included Luka, Buyende and Kaliro. Nanyanzi Sherifa is a mother of an 8-month child, but is again having a 2-month-old pregnancy. She failed to use family planning and could not abort. The Chawazinga government has extended support to child mothers, starting with the districts of Buyende and Kamuli.
We are working on a project of infant mothers where His Majesty the Chawazinga of Soga is extending an arm of help to the children, the girl child who have been affected by COVID-19 in the previous 2 years. So we are giving out mother kits to those who are still pregnant, and we are also giving out nutritious porridge, those are food supplements for the mothers and the children, so that it can help them improve on the nutrition of the children, as well as keeping the children at home so the girls can go back to school and study.
The program is implemented through Developing Lives, Livelihood and Nutrition Uganda, a community-based organization. The COVID-19 pandemic affected all sectors of the economy, with girls bearing the highest brunt of the pandemic. Abiona Francisco, UBC News.
In 2019, Honorable Kato Enoch, who was serving as a GRC for School of Management, initiated the Guild Constitutional Amendment Bill on Article 17, Clause 2, Section A of Guild Constitution. Herein, the powers of choosing the Electoral Commission, which prepares guild elections at the university, were to be shifted from the serving guild president to the serving guild representative councillors and interested students who would have applied to be part of the Electoral Commission for voting.
It is believed that the amendment of Article 17, Clause 2A of Chambogo University's Guild Constitution would bring independence of the EC, and this would enhance fairness and eliminate impunity during the electoral process.
The top management of this university they interfered with the processes of the Electoral Commission in declaring the number of the GRCs and other very many electoral processes. So we appeared before the election tribunal. We petitioned before the election tribunal to address some of these issues, and some of them were on representation. As we all understand, our guild constitution is very clear on representation. Each GRC is supposed to represent 500 students.
However, his proposal didn't materialize as he had planned after failing to convince 70% of GRCs to support his proposal as the Guild Constitution demands.
One of the weaknesses of this was that we understand that as the Guild President, he has friends, he has different people that were close to him, and they're always the people that were resisting in this process. And so when he presented these issues, we were 75 people in the Guild House, and out of the 68 people approved this bill, where we said yes to it.
On 12th November 2021, Rachi Juma Bryan moved a similar proposal during a GRC meeting. The proposal was later subjected to a vote where 68 GRCs voted in favor of the motion out of 75 who had attended the sitting.
Because we are getting challenges, the aspirants are always colliding with the EC. Because it was formerly seen then the EC chairperson Akdem was campaigning for the guild aspirants, and the same person won the elections.
The proposal became the resolution of the House, and it was sent to the University Council for approval on 27th January 2022. The Chambogo University Council is expected to meet and make final approval of this amendment on 9th February 2022.
Now, President Yoweri Museveni has hailed the late Governor, Bank of Uganda, Professor Emmanuel Tumusiime Mutabire, for his immense contribution to Uganda's economic journey. This was contained in a message delivered for him by Prime Minister Robin Nabanja at the burial of Mutabire in Kabale municipality.
Mourners of all walks of life turned up in their hundreds for the funeral service and burial of late Governor of Bank of Uganda, Emmanuel Tusime Mutebile in Kabale. President Museveni was represented by Prime Minister Robin Anabanja at the event that attracted who is who in the country.
Most of the reforms that he advocated and later implemented were successful. For example, the enforcement of the fiscal budget discipline helped to control inflation from triple digits to low single digits, which is good for planning and investment.
Rwanda's President Paul Kagame was represented by Dr. Don Kaberuka at the funeral service.
It is our hope that we'll do everything we can to honor this great Ugandan, a great African. And my presence here as an envoy of my president, as I said, is a sign of the desire of the people, the two countries, to live together in harmony and peace, to celebrate together. We know all that in recent times there have been some challenges, but we also know that significant efforts by our two leaders are underway to resolve those issues because they are resolvable.
Mourners described the late Tusime Mutebile as having been a competent patriot who served his country with utmost enthusiasm until his death.
Professor Mutebile started his public life well, and he has ended it well and successfully. In government, we don't have any issue with him.
I therefore want to take this opportunity to thank my departed brother for playing a critical role to ensure my political victory in Kabale. Because without that foundation, it would have been difficult to play other roles in politics.
It is not the years one lives, it is what one does in those years. Because Tumusime Mutebile, as you have read and heard the eulogies, really he has done a lot.
He made selfless contribution towards economic development of his country and has left an indelible mark as the governor of Bank of Uganda.
He was a revolutionary and transformative economist, no doubt the most influential reformer of Uganda's economy.
One of his brothers, Major General Sabiti Mutebile, recounted his last moments.
Love and support of his family members, of relatives, of friends, support to the church, to the people who deserve support, even those he didn't know, if they had a chance to reach him, he supported them.
Mutebile is survived by a wife, Betty Mutebile, and a son, Duncan Mutebile, and other 3 daughters.
So he left one wife, one son, Duncan, and 3 girls.
I will always remember you as dad, friend, counselor, mentor, protector, provider, spiritual head of the family, and most of all for your contribution to Uganda as a whole.
Daddy was a great man, both to family, to friends, to government, to the bank. He was a man for all seasons.
Betty Mutebile, the wife to the late, said her husband was dedicated to his family and to his work.
Many of us are standing as a result of his involvement in our lives. Those he educated, those he sponsored to go for treatment, those he sponsored for weddings, those, name it. We appreciate you, Emmanuel, but we appreciate God who enabled you to do so.
The central bank was represented by Michael Etenge, the deputy governor.
He served his country, continent, humanity, especially through his
terrorism and has been and will remain a blessing to all of us. In the words of St. Paul, he fought the good fight, he kept the faith. May God, who gifted us with his life, bless and keep him in glory.
Mutebile was laid to rest at his ancestral home in Omuruhita, Kijugata, in Kabale municipality. Story compiled by Robert Onyango for UBC News.
Finally, at his resting place, he was a very great man. He will be dearly missed. May his soul rest in peace. Now, after a while, minus congregating, a Faith of Unity leadership has held a mega welcome from COVID-19 prayers session at Kapiemi in Kagadi district. Take a look.
Residents of Kapiemi in Kagadi district have been treated to a great spectacle that officially announced the return from lockdown of the Faith of Unity followers. Like all others in the country, the Faith of Unity, which was founded by Omukama Ruhango Obusobozi Bisaka, has hardly had any prayer sessions as the nation underwent lockdown. The first service that was full of vigor and punctuated by songs of praise attracted many Faith of Unity followers, all dressed in their traditional white attire. Omukwenda Akugeziwe Bisaka preached unity and hard work as the only avenues to a successful life and economic progress.
Abantu tugonzangane okuwafukana kwero kimwe munsi yono kigambo kya Ruhanga kiba kiragiro. Ebyo ebibaire nibitubaganizaamu omwosya narabira mu nganda oba sitaani nerabira mu nganda, sitaani nerabira mu madiini, sitaani nerabira mu mahanga. Ebi byona Omukama Ruhanga obusobozi Bisaka nibwo mulimo gwa mulesire omunsi abingemu omwosya akutubaganizaamu ateraniza abantu be alete atuhe ebigambo ebiturakozesa omulembe gwahangire guno omulembe gwa kasatu ogw'abantu abarungi abantu baterane okwafukana kwero kimu munsi yona abantu bagonzangane baganyirangane tube bamu omuli Omukama Ruhanga.
He also advised Unity of Faith followers not to underestimate COVID-19.
Pay school fees conveniently using MTN Momo. Dial *165 *80#. Enter the student code provided by the school. It will show you the student name and the class plus outstanding balance. Enter the amount you want to pay. Enter PIN. You will get a notification confirming payment. It's simple, secure, and convenient.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Welcome back. And now into business. Uganda Cooperative Savings and Credit Union, UCSCU SACCO members is making big strides despite challenges imposed by COVID-19 pandemic. The chairperson, Board of Directors, UCSCU, Jalia Bintulukumu, says the union registered a surplus of 37 million Uganda shillings in 2020 and grew to over 500 million Uganda shillings in 2021.
Savings and credit cooperative organizations under Uganda Cooperative Savings and Credit Union have held their 46th annual general meeting in Maganjo Kawempe near Kampala. During the meeting, the chairperson, Board of Directors, Parliamentary Circle Jalia Bint was retained as the board chairperson for the next 4 years. The meeting observed a substantial financial progress by the union, having achieved a reduction in liabilities, including internal borrowings, leading to effective service delivery to members during the 2 years lockdown.
It's the first achievement we made. The academy is fully furnished and ready to operate.
The Directorate of Industrial Training in the Ministry of Education and Sports Acting Director Patrick Byakatonda has tasked parents to embrace vocational training to uplift communities. Byakatonda disclosed this while officiating the graduation ceremony of Maganjo Institute of Career Education in Chivale District.
The acting director, Directorate of Industrial Training, Patrick Byakatonda, has reiterated the need for Ugandans to utilize their available vocational training skills to close the employment gaps. Byakatonda says government is committed to improving skills output in the vocational sector. This was during a graduation function at Maganjo Institute of Career Education, where 55 bricklayers were awarded with workers' PAS certificates.
Many Ugandans, they don't get tenders because of some of them poor workmanship, lack of integrity. They give you a tender to construct a primary school, you do shoot the work. That means you cannot get more tenders. You delay. The classroom is supposed to take 3 months. You finish maybe in 6 months. You don't pay workers. Those are the challenges.
Byakatonda argued the graduates to be creative and relevant to themselves, the society, and utilizing the skills acquired for a better future. Kibale District Councillor Philip Abikora calls on graduates to form a recognized company so that they can benefit from the district tenders.
As a district of Kibale, we are going to recognize them. But I want to appeal to them to register a company such that they can get jobs under construction. If you do that, we shall work together, we shall walk together, we shall sit together, we shall eat together.
The principal of the institute, Peter Twesige, expresses gratitude to government and other stakeholders towards the support accorded to the institute.
As Maganjo, we are ready to work with the government, to work with the Directorate of Industrial Training to promote skills all over Uganda.
Story compiled by Henry Muganga for UBC News.
Start the year off with my Airtel 4G smartphone. You get to enjoy free 1 GB data valid for a month and 100% bonus data every month for 3 months at only 250,000 Uganda shillings. This includes free data spread over 3 months worth 86,500 Uganda shillings, making the effective price of the 4G phone 163,500 Uganda shillings only. Visit the nearest Airtel shop and get one today. Airtel, the smartphone network.
And now into sports. Uganda's Spain-bound team Fundi has started rigorous training ahead of departure next week. It is a select side of established football players that are travelling to play a series of friendly games organised under the auspice of the Spain-Uganda Friendship. We have details.
With just days before departure to Spain, where they play series of friendly games, Team Fundi has started rigorous training. Team Fundi is under Festo Web Sports Management and is a brainchild of the National Resistance Movement that emphasized securing our future in its manifesto. The team has engaged in its first friendly game with goals by Julius Polo to an Alpha Sali, securing a 2-0 victory over Select Eastern side.
This is our first meeting after a long time. So they have been training in their clubs. So I see most of them, their shape is okay. Just to work on some, technical and tactical issues. Of course, like 5 or 6 players are not with us right now. They just came from national team camp. Then they will be joining soon. And before we departure to Spain, we want to have at least like 3 or 4 days camp together so that we can have more team chemistry.
The players in camp are optimistic they will perform well in the games they are to play against several Spanish sides.
Most of the players in the team, they have been playing in the league, and this friendly is showing us a good picture. So I think we shall put a good show.
The larger intent of this friendly tour is to enable Uganda players impress and get attachment to lower league Spanish teams that can form foundation for better. The team departs on Tuesday, 4th February and will stay for 10 days. John Barnes, Sentamo, reporting.
Brought to you by...
We're here to build because at the end of the day, we're truly Ugandan.
Well, I want to thank you very much for your company this lovely Sunday evening. But do, of course, enjoy more of UBC's programming. Up next is still another AFCON match. That is Senegal going against Equatorial Guinea. It is also going to be another wonderful game. But from us here in studio, we wish you a lovely week ahead. Good night.
Flutterwave, partner